Welcome to Alpha Wolf Trading. Did you know that there's over 12,000 stocks or companies that trade on the OTC? Between the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange, you have over 7,000 companies. But us as retail investors, we wouldn't know that unless we were researching. Because why? Wall Street focuses on the elite, the big companies. And where the retail investor has their advantage is in small and micro-cap stocks. Why? Because you have the opportunity to speak directly with leadership. That is what this is all about here at Alpha Wolf Trading. We're trying to find the hidden gems, and we interview the executive teams of companies that we think meet the parameters to be those hidden gems. I also want to make sure you understand that this is not a paid-for promotion. I collect no compensation for the interviews I do here. These companies that I interview have been identified as potential opportunities for me and the members of Alpha Wolf Trading to receive a higher than average return on our investment. These companies I have identified either because of a technical setup on a chart, a fundamental change within the organization, new management team, new products, all kinds of different things that actually lead me here. But what do I think is the most important? Leadership. And that is why I do these interviews. I want to understand what drives the person that is leading the charge. I want to feel their passion. I want to understand their vision and the strategy that they're going to use to achieve success. That is what these interviews are for. I want to understand the share structure and the cap table, the size of the TAM, the total addressable market. This is the opportunity to learn all of those things. So sit back and enjoy. And if you learn anything from today's interview, do us a favor. Subscribe to the Alpha Wolf Trading YouTube channel. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a financial advisor. I recommend highly that before buying any security, speak to a financial advisor and do your own due diligence. Hey everybody, Tim from Alpha Wolf Trading coming at you with a follow-up interview with a very interesting company, a happy company. Well, not so happy right now, but make their customers happy, and that's really what is ultimately important. Heartcore, HTCR is the symbol. Sumitaka, Konno is the CEO, founder, former Top Gun pilot that decided that flying a plane wasn't as fun as it looked in the movie Maverick, right? Sumitaka, thank you for coming back. A lot has happened. You have two primary businesses that we really want to kind of highlight here, right? We want to talk about the fact that you got the CMS software, which is growing. I mean, it's growing in Japan and growing here in the United States. You're brand new to the United States, and you've been in Japan for how long?
What do you mean? I'm sorry.
How long have you been established in Japan with your CMS?
Oh, yes, 13 years.
Okay. And your churn is very minimal, right?
Yeah, yes.
Like you maintain, I can't remember what the number is exactly, but how many of your customers do you maintain in Japan?
Right now, totally, just for the CMS business, is about 700 enterprise clients we have.
Okay, 700 enterprise clients, and you don't have many that leave because they're very happy with you, right?
Yes, we have a top market share.
Okay, and then the other business that you have started is helping companies in Japan, or actually not just Japan, anywhere in the world, really, right? Come public in the US, right?
Yes, exactly.
And that business has the potential to, I mean, you're doing well with your CMS business. You've got nice growth there. but that business of helping companies come public, that could really bring in a windfall of revenue, right?
Yes, correct. We fortunately we engage 11 companies. So two of them already start trade, and another two of our client willing to public with this month. That's mean 2023 December.
Okay,
So they are waiting SEC or NASDAQ approval.
got it. So, but you've got somewhere along the lines around, you're working with 20 companies right now, right?
Yes, yes, correct. We have 20 pipelines, and three of them start trade next month.
Okay,
But we expect we acquire additional 5 or 10 clients next year.
okay. You've got a lot of other things that are going on, right? So we were just talking before we hopped on, you've also got, for your CMS, you've actually got a new product that'll be coming out that's about 2 years off.
Yes, correct. We are developing next version of our CMS. So next version we will release next June 2024. That is a minor change of our existing CMS. However, we're developing a brand new CMS next 2 years. So that is AI driven. So every enterprise companies just say created content, something like this, created website, something like this. We include the e-commerce, include the reservation systems, include a huge access platform. So it's easy to say to AI. So AI generated automatically within our CMS. So ChatGPT-4, it's amazing. However, that created only the HTML file or something like a PHP or Java, but it's not robust. It's not secured. It's not have a huge access.
Okay.
So our AI-driven CMS is just for the CMS, content management system. So it includes a chatbot, it includes a reservation system, e-commerce, or social medias. However, we are specialized for all these areas.
Okay. So that sounds exciting, but that is 2 years off, right? So
Yes, yeah, we are now testing. Fortunately, we have over 700 enterprise clients. Some of them help us to have a test.
oh, some of them already are testing it?
Yes, testing it. So the test is not good yet because they want to make this kind of a content. However, AI generate 100% different.
Right.
So we need to adjust what is a human think. So this is a result. This have to be a result.
Right.
So we adjust now. So we need to train AI. It's about at least 1 year.
Okay, yeah. So you're giving yourself some cushion there by saying 2 years, right? I mean, it could happen sooner, but you're giving yourself, which is smart. I mean, that's, you don't want to overpromise and underdeliver.
Yes, yes. Most important is training. So teaching AI what is content, what is let's say it's like a blue colors, this blue color image, this kind of website means this one.
Right. Right. Making sure that the program understands what it is that you're teaching, right?
Yes, correct.
It's learning, or I guess maybe I should say it's learning properly. It's learning the right way, right?
Yes, correct. So it takes a long, long time.
All right. Okay, so let's talk about your third quarter. How was the third quarter?
It's not good. Unfortunately, we expected to have a go IPO client in third quarter. However, it's postponed to fourth quarter or next year because the market condition is not good. They decide to postpone.
Right.
But so our profit turned to negative in the third quarter, but the revenue is almost double than last year.
Okay. Revenue's almost doubled. You signed a partnership with let's see, who was it? Sabatini?
Yes, we acquired Sabatini Global,
Acquired
M&A.
Sabatini, okay. And since you've acquired them, what's happened?
Okay, so Sabatini Global is New York-based companies. They sales companies. They have 5 sales and a few marketing teams. After we acquire Sabatini Global, they bring 500,000 sales revenue after M&A, and they close additional 2 million deal in this month, 2023, for next year. But after that, they bring us a huge sales.
Okay, so you're pretty excited about that acquisition.
Yes, correct.
All right. I mean, one thing I want to emphasize, and I think anybody that's watched me for the last, I don't know, it seems like forever, but it's 30, I think we're going on 30 months of some real hard pressure. This is a tough market for small cap, micro cap stocks. This is probably one of the toughest I think I've ever seen. And I've been through quite a few cycles. And this one has been long in duration, and it has been unforgiving, right? It is not the companies specifically that are getting what the price action that is happening is not because of something the company is doing wrong. It is just because this is the temperament of the market right now. In my view, we are approaching stupidity levels in terms of valuations. If you look at the overall market, we've got 7 companies that are essentially driving the market higher. Apple, Nvidia. Apple's got a $3 trillion valuation, which means that they could buy 17 or so countries because they have more cash than GDP for those countries, right? And if you think about that, how much further up is Apple going to go? Is it going to go to 6 trillion to get a double? I don't think so. I think that would be a tough thing to do. Not saying it can't happen. Maybe it will. Markets can stay irrational, but a lot of companies like Heartcore who are executing, right, growing their businesses. How are you sitting on? How many shares do you have fully diluted outstanding? Actually, maybe John can pitch in on that. John, you still there, buddy?
I'm still here, Tim. You said the question was how many shares outstanding?
How many shares outstanding fully diluted?
I think it's about 20,000 shares or so. Let me double check that amount.
Yes, 20,000.
20,000, that's fully diluted.
Mhm.
So
21 million. Tim.
Sorry.
21 million.
Yes, 20 million. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
21 million. Yep.
All right, 21 million shares. That's nothing, right?
Yes.
And you've got, what was it, 172% growth for revenue, 18.5 million. You had, I mean, you're doing everything right? You have,
Yeah.
but it's the markets. My belief is that maybe if the Fed is done raising interest rates, which I think is a possibility because we're heading into an election year, then that would maybe that could be a reason to celebrate. And I think some of these companies that have been beaten down and have not been rewarded for the things that they're accomplishing, I think maybe that changes, right? So have you received the letter from the NASDAQ for being below the $1? You received that? Okay.
Yes, we received.
Okay, so you've got what is it, 185 days to get your stock back above $1 a share, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, and then if you don't do it within 185 days, you can submit and get another 185 days. So essentially, you have a year to get your stock back above $1, right?
Yes,
For
yes.
10 consecutive days. Okay. If you're going to have two companies, did you say 2 or 3 companies that are going to go public? Is it 2 or 3?
Correct.
Right. It's 2 or 3.
We expect 3. However, maybe 2.
Okay. I got you. But if just the 2 go, right? What will that do for earnings for the next quarter?
Okay, so fourth quarter is amazing. If 2 companies start trade in December, they bring about 10 million revenue.
Okay.
Additional 10 million.
An additional 10 million in revenue.
Yes, and 10 million is 100% profit.
100, how much profit?
100% profit. So 10 million profit.
Okay. So that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah,
right?
that is bigger than our market cap.
All right, so that is a potential catalyst that you have on the horizon, and that's before the end of the year. So you're talking before the end of the year or next month?
No. This month.
This month.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a pretty big deal, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, and that just gives you a little hint of the kind of revenue that would be generated from that portion of your company. That's not CMS, right? That's just that portion of the.
Yes, correct. That is our like a bonus.
Right, and you're in talks with 20 other companies that are potentially looking to come and list again.
United States. Yes, again, yeah, correct. For next year.
Right. Okay, that could be pretty big for you guys, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, correct.
What are you excited about besides that? What else are you excited about?
So unfortunately, this year the stock market condition is not good. However, next year we expect market will be better. So all of our existing clients, we have additional 7 clients willing to public next year. And we will acquire additional 3 clients next month. And we'll have 5 or 10 next year. So all of them willing to start trade next year. So that is amazing for us.
Okay. And in terms of your CMS, your customers that you have there,
Yeah.
do you, I mean, are those prices set for your clients pretty much, or do you have any annual upticks? I mean, do you raise prices at all, or how is the pricing for that market?
Okay, so we don't want to change pricing. However, we add on the dashwake. That is a personalization for using company's internal data. So dashwake is good for our client. They easy to use for the personalization, for the website, chatbot, or social medias, everything.
Okay. So when you first get a client, like here in the United States, right, the US, as you're expanding, you start out with a small package and then maybe they start adding on different things, or is it one program that you're selling that covers everything?
Yeah, one program covers everything. So our CMS covers everything. So company can choose what they want.
Okay. It's a kind of an a la carte type deal.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. listen, let me just tell you from a technical standpoint, what I'm looking at for the company, right? The $1 mark is going to be a psychological mark to get back above. So you will likely have some resistance on the way back up, right? Because it acted as support. Actually, let me get my little cursor over there. Okay, so it acted as support right here, right? And it acted as support right there. When you finally cracked, that's why you had the waterfall, right? Because everybody knows that's going to be a letter from the NASDAQ, the whole deal. But right now, what you're doing, it looks like to me, is you're potentially coming down and going to test a double bottom, it's good that you're testing the low, the all-time low, because that's how you define the fact that that's it, that's the low, right? There's no more sellers. So you have very little volume, right? It trades very thin, and that's a bit of an issue. Now, you did announce an ATM, right? And the ATM was for what purpose?
Oh, this purpose for the next acquisition.
For the next acquisition, right?
Yes.
So you're looking at accretive acquisitions, right? You're not going out there and buying a bunch of losers. You're buying companies that add to, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the problem right now is that you don't have any volume, right?
Correct. We need more volume.
Right. Okay. And the only way that happens is if you get more eyeballs on the stock that understand the story, right?
Yes, correct.
And the numbers, I mean, if you get the two companies, let's see, additional, you had 18, what was it? Oh, that was for year to date, 18 million. So what was it for the quarter? Or 4.7 million you had for the quarter, third quarter, right?
Yes.
So imagine 4.7 plus an additional 10, right? So it's a $14 million quarter. That's pretty good quarter over quarter growth.
Yes.
And what is the market cap right now?
It's less than 10 million.
Yeah, less than 10 million. That's the disconnect. That's why I'm saying that right now valuations on companies are getting to stupidity levels, right? You're going to do more in a quarter than your entire market cap, right? Just about, which is ridiculous.
Yes, exactly.
All right. This is what I want to do, right? Since you have these things coming up, what I'd like to do is do a follow-up with you after. So when will you report your next quarter?
We can announce
March.
Yes.
What's that, John?
Yeah, it'll be the end of March, Tim. Because companies have 90 days to file the 10K. The Heartcore team's going to be probably going to be issuing the earnings release prior to that, towards the end of March.
Okay, so John, when do you think we should do a follow-up? After the next earnings?
Yeah, I would say maybe early April timeframe would be appropriate, just because we could speak to fresh full year 2023 numbers, and I think Sumitaka would have a much clearer vision of how 2024 is going to be laying out. So I think we can speak to some of those anecdotes and talk about numbers as well.
Okay. You have email alerts, right, Sumitaka? I mean, if somebody goes to your investor relations page, they can sign up for your email alerts, right? So, and what I would recommend is that people, if you're interested in this story, is signing up for those email alerts and seeing if the companies that they're planning on IPOing do so. If that happens, then you pretty much have a pretty clear understanding of where the quarter is headed, right? So I would absolutely sign up for IR alerts and pay attention to the stock. I think potentially, if this holds right here, this 37-cent range, if that holds, that's a clearly defined bottom, right? Then you start working your way back up towards that $1 mark. Maybe you have some resistance there, but then you break back above the dollar, you stay there for 10 days, consecutively, then the whole NASDAQ thing goes away, right?
I hope so.
Well, it will. If you stay above it for 10 days,
Mhm.
it will go away, and the clock resets, I guess, is the way you could say that. And then, at that time, you're going to be messing around with the 200-day moving average too. So you'll have a couple of things going on there acting as resistance. If you can get back above there, what's the high been on this? This was where did this IPO at, John? This IPO'd at $4?
Yes, 5.
5? It IPO'd at 5?
Mhm.
Okay, and then you went up to around looks like you went up to around $6, and then it's been a steady decline since then, right?
Yeah.
But that's okay. You put in a double bottom, you bring the numbers, and you keep making customers happy, and eventually the stock will reflect that, right?
Mhm.
So we just got to be patient. Nobody said stock market is not an easy game, right? There are cycles, and unfortunately, you happen to catch a bad cycle, right? But that's okay. You're still executing,
Mhm.
right? You're keeping your eye on the ball. You're
Yes,
not
yeah.
okay. You don't seem as happy though
Mhm.
as the first time that I am.
Yes.
It'll get better. I promise you. Just
Thank,
keep executing.
thank
Okay.
you. Thank you very much.
Tim,
All
I
right.
think sorry, the last thing I would add, Tim, is if you look at some of the Form 4 filings that Sumitaka and some of the other senior leaders at
Thanks,
have
John.
made, there has been a fair amount of insider buying, the last month. So if you look at some of the November filings for Form 4s, they've been buying stock. And obviously that's a telltale sign of, where management sentiments are if they're putting with their own personal money where their mouth is.
Exactly.
In addition to that, if you look at the insider ownership structure right now, Sumitaka owns over 51% of the company shares outstanding. So it's safe to say that he has some skin in the game, and obviously he has the best incentive, he has the best vision for shareholders, and he wants to create shareholder value.
Right. No, you know what? And I'm glad you brought that up, John, because that is important. It's one of the boxes that I check off, right? Is management participating in the open market, right? Everybody, I have a lot of CEOs that have come and say, "Oh yeah, our stock is a steal right now." Really, are you buying in the open market? And then you look up and no, they're not. Not only are they not buying, they're selling. But that is I mean, look, insider buying doesn't guarantee anything, but nobody knows the company better than the insiders. And there's only one reason why insiders would buy, and that's because they think it's undervalued. Bottom line, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. All right, John, thank you for bringing that up. Sumitaka, I love talking to you. Hopefully next time it'll be you'll be happier. Well, everybody will be happier.
Yes, of course. We will do our best.
Okay. All right, Sumitaka, I look forward to talking to you in somewhere around April. Okay.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Tim.
Thanks for coming in. Thanks, John.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All
Thank
right.
you. Bye.
I hope you enjoyed today's follow-up interview with Sumitaka Konno from Heartcore, ticker symbol HTCR. If you enjoyed today's interview, do us a favor, give us a like, and make sure you hit that subscribe button. It is really important to us here at Alpha Wolf Trading and genuinely appreciated. Until next time, stay safe. Alpha Wolf Trading wishes you the very best of success.